Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, I wanted to talk, or more so explain to people what is content creating, or what is it to be a YouTuber, what is it to be a Twitch streamer, what is it overall to be a content creator. Now, this episode is dedicated to everybody in this world that doesn't look at content creating as a real, legitimate, career. At some point in time, it is going to be a job, but it's going to turn, if a person is truly dedicated to content creating, it's going to be a full-on career. So here's the thing, because I feel like I've been trying to explain it to people for I don't know how long. Family, friends, co-workers, customers. There are so many different aspects of my life where I had to explain it to people what it is overall to be a content creator. Now, I'll have to say a good majority of the people, more so talking on, friends. It was a few customers at my job, few coworkers. Because I feel like at some point in time in their life, they were in my shoes when you're trying to start up something and you overall, go through with it, finish out with it. You know, you're trying to turn this into something. And I have to say the one person that I remember that understood, he understood the motivation behind it because he was in the same path. But it was my friend at my old job, Jack. Jack is a musician for this band called Monitor. I've promoted that band before. I've talked about him in that band before. And I feel like because it's that creative aspect in it. And I feel like that's the creativity, behind what we're both doing. He understood. So it was something where it was if he was in my shoes, I don't really know what his situation is when it comes to him being a musician, but I feel like if he's in my shoes, or if he was in my shoes, regardless, and you have it where there's you have all of this motivation coming from people, but then there's that one negative thing that a person says, it's going to stand out because you're so used to hearing those positive aspects and those positive things about content creating or about whatever career goals you're choosing to do. But then there's that one person that just says something super negative, or it could be a bunch of think time, or a bunch of people that's saying negative things. You get used to it, but it's when you hear that first either positive or negative comment, and it really doesn't, well, it's not so much as that it changes your aspect of the thing or how your thinking is towards it when it's something negative, because you're gonna just be looking at that person, questioning them all hey yo, why are you being negative towards me? What have I done to you? Because see, here's the thing. In the 25 years that I've been alive, I've never once have crushed a person's dream. I'm trying to sit down and think all the way back in my elementary. The only time I feel because I'm one of those people of if I feel somebody's trying to crush my dreams, then I'll crush their dreams. So I can't necessarily say that I haven't never crushed nobody's dreams. I'm pretty sure I've crushed some people's dreams, but that's only because they've tried to crush mine. But alright, so I guess to correct myself, I've never went out of my way to crush a person's dreams first. Never. There's no reason for me to do that. And if I did, it's fam, I wouldn't expect that person to listen to me anyways. If there's a point in time where somebody had approached me and they were all I want to sell bathwater, and turn that into a career, I will look at it as a weird job. But fam, do you know how many weird jobs exist out there? Do you know how many and the thing is at some point in time, somebody had to take in that job in order for it to be called a weird job or an odd, whatever you want to call it. But I'm saying it's that person, all they're looking for is support. Now, I might not fully understand it. I might not fully understand the process of it, but I can respect it, okay? I can respect it. If I don't even have all that support to like really show for it compared to like the other things I'm supporting, you know, from my friends and whoever, it's like, fam, I can at least have the respect for it. I'm not going to be constantly messaging that person or calling that person up or leaving comments, whatever it is, you know, trying to demotivate what this person wants to do. If they want to sell bathwater, it's like, fam, be the best, prove me wrong. That's what, like, and that's the, like, motivation that I want to put out in the world, okay? Imagine that I just told you that you're never going to be great at what you're doing. I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to be the greatest. I want you to, like, stand out more than anybody, whether it's content creating, being a paramedic, being a soldier, being a bathwater seller. I don't care what it is. A OnlyFans model. I don't care what it is. Prove me wrong, okay? Because at the end of the day, I might not support it, but I have no other choice but to respect it. And that's like one of the things where it's like, look, I've seen friends of mine, you know, get into like a police, you know, type thing. I've seen friends of mine become OnlyFans models. What other things? Regular models. I've seen some of my friends do some, like, you know, just like some different jobs compared to like the job that everybody wants us to get, where it's like we gotta go to this official business. Like, let's say if it's a job at Target, or if it's a job at GameStops, or if it's just overall a job somewhere at a store or a place of business that everybody knows about, right? Like I've seen people go the opposite route. Like, I'm one of those people. I decided to become a content creator. But overall, like, you know, getting back to what I'm saying, but the thing is, like, I had to say, even it's surprising, but I've never reached out in my way to like go and question them being like, there's one of my friends, it's like a close childhood friend of mine, and I see that she has an OnlyFans thing going on, and it's like, fam, if that's what she wants to do, if that's what's making her money, I'm like, there's people out there making $6 million. How much did the one girl from Dr. Phil, the bad baby girl, Danielle Bergoli, she came out and said she's made millions off of OnlyFans. I'm like, you can't argue with that. I'm saying, even if you're not making millions and you're just making thousands, I can't argue with that. I'm like, that's good. That's dope that you're making that type of money off of OnlyFans. It's, you know, it's crazy to think like people are into that, but it's like, people are into it. You can't argue. The thing is, like, you can't even argue what people are into. And then it's like, getting back to the content creating stuff, it's like this. If I post a video, whether it gets 1 view, 100 views, 1,000,000 views, 1,000,000,000 views, people are interested in what I'm talking about. I had to say, I've always, for like the past, like since 2015 of me ever really taking content creating serious, I've explained to people like how I am as a content creator. Being able to improvise, being able to just do one take of a podcast episode or of a video or whatever it is, you know, building that courage and confidence to stream live to however many people that join my stream, you know, coming up with TikTok videos right there on the spot, coming up with podcast episodes right there on the spot, same with videos, going out of my way to spend all of this money into content creating. And the last thing that a person needs, especially myself, but the last thing that us people need when you've invested so much time and effort and money into what you're doing with content creating or whatever career goes, my thing is this. Because I've had to say, like, with shoes, I've definitely spent, like thousands upon thousands of dollars of shoes, right? With music, I've spent, you know, probably well over, thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, with just overall the computer technology stuff, you know, whether it's been phones, microphones, laptops, like any device whatsoever. It's like you spend all this time and money into that stuff just to turn back because somebody doesn't want you to do that job. Like, does that make any sense? Because I'm saying, like, now I'm going to start getting to the point where, like, when people want to call me out for content creating, it's like, fam, you're doing things and you've invested all this money, if you invest all this time into it, why should I turn around from something that's literally, and it's like, fam, there's some people out there where it's like, you are into some things that's, overall, at the end of the day, I think if you ask anybody, what would you rather have, you know, a thing with, content creating or, you know, something that's like really bad. I ain't gonna say what it is, but something that's really bad. Like at one point in time, it was, you know, people had to like, you had to go behind doors and do this thing. I could go out and about and, you know, do what I want to do. You have to go behind doors and do what you have to do. And it's like, fam, like what's really the issue here? I'm making money from what I'm doing. You've made not 1 cent, but you spent all this money on it. At least with me, it's like I can say that I've spent money, but at least I've made some of it back. So that's why it trips me out, like when they want to look at the things that I'm doing wrong, and it's like, fam, you're right there with me. You are right there with me. Like, it's gonna get to a point where honestly, it's not even gonna get to a point. I'm already at that point where I just can't take it no more. That so many people are so interested in, like, hey, what's Tyler doing? Oh, he doesn't have a job, and it's like, fam, I do. It's content creating. It is a career. It is a business. Literally, if you can look at any business, even the businesses that people be working for and they want to judge me for the business that I'm doing, I'm starting a business. I'm starting a franchise. I'm starting a legacy. I'm starting something here. You're working for a legacy. You're working for a franchise. You're helping build. You're one of the helping hands, fam. I've been doing this. I appreciate the support and the love that everybody's been showing me. But at the end of the day, how I'm seeing it at times, like, I don't see people going out of their way sharing my videos. I have to share my videos. I don't see people going out of their way to shout me out. I'm shouting myself out. I'm literally building this business with my bare hands, putting blood, sweat, and tears, depression, anger, at times happiness. I'm putting all of these different emotions into content creating just to have it where people still look me in the face and say that it's not enough, it's not this, it's not that. And I was like, fam, like, have this same, because I'm saying there's like people when I was at my old job and they had all these different things to tell me about my old job. And it's like, why weren't you telling me these things when I was because so at one point in time, so it was 2015, 2016. That was like my rookie year of being a content creator. Like I kind of had like, because I created my YouTube channel, my main channel in 2010, but I had to say I didn't really start taking it serious until 2015. Throughout 2010, all the way up until 2014, I was in high school. So I obviously had to make a choice. Schoolwork, YouTube work. Honestly had to choose school. I graduated from high school. So then I had this this idea from my family where it's like they wanted me to enlist in the military. I, was going to go through with that plan. But I remember, hey, I have a YouTube channel. I can turn this into something. Because see, here's the thing. When I was doing YouTube in high school, it was kind of like when I was doing YouTube when I was working at this cafe. Like I would drop an occasional video that's good. At least like when I was working at this cafe, I remember I was like dropping I was dropping videos every single day and stuff. I might miss like a day or two, whatever, but I was dropping videos literally every single day, And when I was in high school, it was like whenever I felt like it, I'd just drop a video. And so I didn't really have like that much time because I'm so buried in the schoolwork and things. And it's like, you're not being like, in a way you are being graded on your work at a job, but it's like, it's not as serious as it is with school. You just show up, do the job, go home. You make money and things like school, you ain't really doing all that. I'm not saying that, don't get get your education so you could get a good paying job. And then it's like, if you do have a career, if you do have things that you want to do, then it's like, use that money from that job and invest. Do exactly what I did because it's going to help you out in the long run. Okay. Just, don't be as lazy as I was, but just keep attacking it at any given point in time you possibly can attack your career and stuff. But I remember when I was in high school, I had no time for it. And then when after I graduated, and it was like from 2015, 2016, I had achieved so much. I had my main channel was dying. I remember I had like 3,000 and something subscribers. And I remember it was probably like when I started doing reaction videos, that's when my channel had started growing. I remember I got a shout out from this YouTuber named Ask a Gangsta, and it's like, fam, if this random guy that didn't know me, this guy, he didn't know nothing about me, but we had like that one little moment where me and him vibed, where me and him had like a connection, where he understood and he seen the same person when he had 3,000 and something subscribers. He seen that same person that he used to be. And he gave me a chance. He shouted me out. He co-signed on the legacy of TMossBoss. So when I see that, when I think of that, and then so I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's what motivates me as a content creator, being able to do that same exact thing for people. I'm saying it's like people don't want to take the time to sit down and hear me when I say stuff like that, because they're all like, oh, they still just want to say the same old, you don't have a job, you don't have a career, you ain't making enough money, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. And it's like, fam, there's been times where I've sat down and thought about it. It's like, what would I do if I was homeless? What would I do if I didn't have nothing? I still would try to make it work. I still, at the end of the day, my goal, if I got to put it off to the side, but at the end of the day, before I leave this world, I want to leave a legacy with the name TMossBoss. I don't want this name to just be there, then after that, it's just after I'm gone, the name is gone with it. No, I want people to be able to look at the name and be like, oh, dang, that was that one guy, he went through all this crap to, like, become a YouTuber, and then at one point in time in his career, he became the YouTuber he wanted to be. He became the Twitch streamer he wanted to be. He became the TikToker, the podcaster. Everything that he worked so hard for, he achieved all of it. He achieved it all. That's the legacy, and I want people to be able to look at that and get motivated, and then they do the same thing. Like, I want it to be like a domino effect where it's like, I help out people, I'm all the way into my elderly ages, I pass on, and then there's another person just like me, and they keep doing the same thing, and it's just a domino effect until the end of times. That's what the legacy that I want to leave. That's what I overall want to do for people. But it's like it's so like demotivating when you just have people time after time after time telling you, like, that's not a real job. You gotta be a man. You gotta grow up and be a man, because what you're doing right now is kid stuff. And it's like, you have it where there are kids out here making millions of dollars. So it's like, what do you have to say about them? What do you have to say about the YouTuber that achieved 100 million subscribers? And he has built over 1 billion views, a few billions. What do you have to say about the YouTuber that's going out buying their friends cars and houses, taking care of them, taking care of homeless people? What do you have to say about the YouTuber that literally he'll just join a person's stream just to give them money, to give them $1,000, give them a brand new gaming computer? That's PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, and David Dobrik. You can't tell me that those guys was like, because I'm pretty sure they were probably hearing the same thing. They were most likely hearing the same thing that I'm hearing. But look where they're at right now. And then for some reason, like, it gets to me and that can't happen. See, that's the thing where it's all like, look, if you don't believe in me, say that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with people not believing in me. I'm like, have you seen some of the videos that was made about me? I had people literally trying to bring my name, my legacy, all of that stuff down because they just did not like me. I lived with that. I'm cool with that. If it's friends, family, co-workers, customers, I don't care who it is. I'm still gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna go to sleep thinking content creating stuff, and I'm gonna wake up thinking content creating stuff. I'm not gonna change, because I'm saying it could be a woman that is madly attracted to me. If she's all like, the only way you could be with me is if you quit content creating. I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. There was only one point in time when I was thinking along those lines, and look where it led me right back at. Content creating. So it was meant for me to be a content creator. Some people may not see it. Some people may not believe it. At times, I don't believe it. But when I sit down and think of my life and just like all of the events that led me to right here recording this podcast episode, fam, if I don't believe it myself, it was destined to happen. It's what was supposed to happen. It's what my life is supposed to be. So I'm like, okay, if this is what my life is supposed to be, I got to make the best out of it. I got to make the very, very best out of it. And it's like, fam, it's getting to a point where I'm just thinking so reckless when it comes to content creating. Like, if it gets to a point where I got to stay up every single night, lose out on sleep, going out somewhere and just pass out because I'm trying to make that. I honestly think it's going to lead to that point in time. I think it's going to be a point in time where it's like a medical emergency. And then that's when people are all like, oh, well, now we got to take him serious because now he done landed himself in the hospital. I feel like they only would think that because it's like, oh, well, it's like now you got to make money to pay for the medical bills. It's like, no, it's like we're still not going to take you serious. We still not going to. It's things like that where it's like, fam, I feel like the only point in time, and this is like, I've said this before, and this is some of the most realist stuff that I can honestly say. The only point in time I feel like people, and even then, I feel like there'll still be a part of them deep down inside that won't take you serious. But when you leave this world, That's when people want to take you serious. Think about it. Look at like some of the most famous musicians that passed away. There's probably so many people in this world that wasn't listening to their music. They pass away. They have some tragic, death going on. All of a sudden, they're hitting all these different milestones on Spotify. They're hitting all these different milestones on YouTube. I'm saying it's sad to think that that's what life is, but I'm like, fam, I want to break that like not barrier, but like that cycle. I don't want that to be me. I don't want it to be a point in time where it's like, oh, okay, like, well, he's no longer here with us, so yeah, let's start watching all his YouTube videos. Let's have him reach 1 million subscribers and he's not even here to celebrate it. Let's watch his channel reach 1 billion views and he's not even here to celebrate it. He ain't here to celebrate with his friends, family, and everybody else, that either supports him, somewhat support him, whatever. It's like, it shouldn't be like that. It should never be like that for anybody. So I'm saying, it's like with me, it's like, I don't want to leave that legacy. I don't want to leave a legacy where I'm like, I left it and it's like in an untimely fashion and I can't celebrate, I can't do nothing. It's like, I'm not trying to have that be me. So like, that's why it's like, when I sit down and think about all this, and it's like, fam, like, can I just have like a moment where it's like, I feel what support, I just had that feeling of what support feels like. Like, if I could just have that one thing, I'm like, fam, I will never ask for nothing else in my life again. That's all that I want. All I just want to be able to people is to look at me and be like, hey, I support you. If not, fam, so be it. I don't care. Somebody in the world is going to support me. There's people in this world that do support me. And I thank those people and I appreciate those people. And I'm like, without you, I really don't know where I would be at right now. I probably would be in the military. I probably would be working at some miserable job that, that I'm going to probably end up quitting. And so I can go work at another miserable job, hit my, 40s or 50s, find some career, work there for like 10, 12, 20 years or something, have a retirement, then go travel a little bit and then die. I ain't trying to have that. I'm not trying to have the good old basic American lifestyle. I want to do something different with my life. If that is too much to ask for, then fam, let me know how I can repay those people for that one thing that I want, okay? And I will get the working on it. But until then, it's like, fam, you can offer me out all the jobs you want to offer me out. I'm not going to take any of them. Unless I really need those jobs, if I'm in a tough spot and I really need, that'll be the one and only time. But as of now, I'm chilling. And if it gets to a point in time where I'm not chilling anymore, fam, I will make something happen. Okay? But I'm not going to just sit here and just allow my world to crumble and fall apart, can't do nothing about it. And it's like, no. People come up with plans. People think of plans. I'm not going to sit here and struggle. If it gets to a point where I'm struggling, then I guess I'm going to have to just once again in my life put, content creating and all that stuff aside until I'm in a much more better point in time of my life. But until then, it's like, fam, I'm chilling right now. I would like to be in a much more better position, but I can't. The only way for me to do that is if I'm working, is if I'm doing something with content creating and making it happen. But if I'm sitting around being lazy, not doing nothing, it's like, honestly, it's not going to happen. So I'm like, if people trying to go and take me all these different, it's like, fam, just let me be a content creator. That's it. That's all I ask for. If I can't have nothing else in life, this is literally the mind of everybody. If you guys sit down and think about it, because it's I was talking to people that are overall, not content creators. They don't look at content creating as a job. This is literally what every content creator would say to you. Every content creator. If not, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that somebody would say something. If they're a content creator and they say something different, then I'm like, okay, maybe they're different. But I guarantee you, I promise you, that there is probably people out there in this world that they're thinking just like me. They want to make something happen. But it's like, you can't if you literally, it's like, you can, but it's going to be so much harder when you got everybody in the, in your circle, around you, outside your circle or wherever, and they're telling you oh, you can't do it, do something else. It's not cool, man. It's not cool at all. So anyways, yeah. I just wanted to talk on that real quick because, yeah, it gets to a point in time where it's like, man, I'm just stressed and, it's not helping people, just add more to it. So, yeah, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys, and peace.